Assalamu alaikum fam, hope you're doing well. Continuing our little mini playlist of Mohammed Hijab and Mikhaila Peterson and Ayaan's discussion. And I like something that Mohammed Hijab here that I have from my notes, that he said equality of value, not identicality of roles. That was perfect. Because this highlights the difference in gender roles and that we as Muslims have a value of mothers and don't see stay-at-home moms as worthless losers. We don't see women like that. And that women should love to cook and clean their house and to relax at home and have peace and not want to deal with annoying customers and unnecessary drama if they don't have to, right? And understanding the roles is important in today's age when we have people inverting what it is to even be a woman, okay? And we have secular liberal atheists degrading the word mother and the word woman and inverting God's law by promoting Sodom and Gomorrah values and occultic agendas. So when he said that, it was brilliant because it was a powerful rhetorical response to her lazy attack and fake feminist talking point. Because this equality straw man, I'm really getting tired of hearing. You know, there's a saying in Spanish called machismo, like, oh, these men are machismo. Highlights how some men maybe they're not as kind to women, they think they're better or something like that, right? But that's sort of the fringes and the failures of those men to live up to what a righteous, disciplined man would do, right? And she denies with her feminist, annoying atheist talking points that mothers and fathers matter in their traditional roles. As someone who grew up with a terrible father and a broken mother, I really feel like children like me, women like me, will always have that gap where you long and you loathe and you wonder what it would have been like if you would have had that classical ideal father, protective, healthy, believing, wise, kept the bad men away, gave you good advice, helped you financially, do his gender role. Mine didn't do that. Some good things, I won't say everything was bad, but it is amazing how Allah gave me the opposite of what would have been the better role. And for my mother, much different. Not the proper mother role. And it's interesting that I now, as a young person, have a very nurturing mother spirit, like that Allah has given me, to where I really am pro-child, and my heart melts when I see babies, and I feel very protective over my little one and many children. If I'm in charge of watching them, I take it very seriously. And I want more women to have children, and I hate the abortion lovers who love harming children and compare, like Anna Kasparian, pets, fur babies they call them, to a human being. It's quite sad, it's quite disgusting. So when she says women are not equal, and Mohammed Hijab responds with that they do have the same value as it says in the Quran, he brilliantly responded to that. But it's just they have different roles. And see, this is important because the leftists in America, the San Francisco woke-tardians, they want to change God's law. They want to change what is natural, what is traditional, what is good. It could be all the chemicals in the water, the chemicals in the food, all the drugs that are making their brains so broken. I'm starting to really think that it's just all the chemicals and like the zombification of the population that they deny what God loves and what God has set. So they side with what is more demonic, what is more perverted, what is lesser than, over the blessings that Allah has given women. You know, it's a mercy for women to say, I want to stay home during my pregnancy. I want to grow my baby. I want to relax. I want to, eat some good, healthy food, have peace, take a nap, pray, take care of the little ones if you have other children, tend to the garden, tend to the chickens, study, whatever it is you want to do. That is way more of a peaceful pregnancy, right? Than squeezing your belly into some weird pantsuit and then dealing with all the sick emotions at work. It's just some women like it. That's on them. But women shouldn't be tricked or lied to or coerced or brainwashed with false ideals concerning what their role is. And it's amazing just how she comes to America, doesn't look at the problems in America, doesn't look at people like me who grew up with the inverted, occultic, yet atheistic, liberal philosophy that was totally anti-religion, and the fallout. She denies to look at the raw fallout, the scars that we children carry for the rest of our lives. Two of my brothers on my mom's side, both of their fathers, they have different dads, are dead. They were drug dealers who were shot dead. They'll always have that gap, right, of not having a dad. Then my 3 other siblings, no, 2, I have a lot of siblings, 2 of them, their mother died from drugs and alcohol overdose. And so it's like their mother chose, that stripper, fancy, materialistic, non-religious, boss B, Cardi B attitude, and then got the results from it. And also, it's just what my point is that so many kids today are growing up in broken homes where there's no God, there's no spirituality, there's no goodness, there's only vapid musicians, fake celebrities, just a dead spiritual area void of nothingness, and sick, weird, twisted, dark arts, occultic attitude. It's just amazing how in this thing where she's bringing up women's equality, she doesn't attack occultists. It's just amazing how I've been noticing this more and more. So the religious Muslim gender role of a woman taking care of her beautiful children, being in a polygamous marriage where more gorgeous, happy, chubby, healthy-looking cutie pie babies can be born, and women can have stability, and a man can have his, exercise with his women in that intimate way and keep his gaze down and his sexual relations within marriage. To her, that's worse. To her, that's bad, that's evil. Meanwhile, she's living in America where 13 million single mothers are, and where so many abortions happen. That's what's so sick about some of these people, man. They're talking about equality. It's like women have roles, and the more we deny that, the more we see how wrong we were, and the more we start to hate these feminists for how they lied to us. Sure, in the past, some men were bad and they failed to be good men. But this feminist movement has gone too far and is leading women astray. And I thank Allah every day that I escaped it and I don't believe them anymore. Now all we have to do, us religious Muslim women, endure their laughter, endure their prodding. When those women are 35, maybe they'll wake up with their kids, but some women don't. They still have kids and they're just awful mothers. But they'll see on Judgment Day, right? They'll see on Judgment Day. Because God has set down an order, and He's created a perfect balance between the genders. The 2 genders, based in biology. But it's just so strange. And Mohammed Hijab pointed out how nuclear families are under attack in the West. And nuclear families goes back to the point of roles, right? You need a mom, you need a dad, and a traditional mom and a traditional father. Dad goes to work, he keeps the bad boys out of the yard, he, goes after the bad guy if there's a robber, right? He's dad, a real dad, and a mother who, she knows how to have this comfort, she knows how to help you to fix your hair or feminine issues. She loves you, she guards you, she protects you, she's involved in your schools, she's present, she's a spiritual rock in the family, the comforting food every day, a clean home. That is beautiful. A brave mother who will also blast a criminal and makes the outdoors beautified, right? She cleans the windows, she has things comfortable and cozy and fresh. And that's a beautiful thing. The nuclear family is a beautiful thing, and they're trying to change that and invert it. And it's a lot of this like, oh, equality crap points. It's just so strange, man. So I think Mohammed Hijab, he just really pointed out so much of her failed perspective. She doesn't care about fixing problems. She just cares about, doing the rounds of the, I was a victim, I met bad Muslims. But again, she should be asked about Satanists and occultists and do a comparative analysis of the values of each group. But that takes work. That's why I like studying it, because you start to see, like, isn't it weird that people, especially the atheists, they just never talk about that. They only want to attack what is good, claiming that they don't care, and then they always side with the occultists. The strange musicians like Marilyn Manson and the weirdos, and they make excuses. And then it's like their darkness in them hates the light, and they're envious and spiteful and degenerate, and it's just so amazing just to see the giant hypocrisy and how anti-family they are. And now they just want to attack the beautiful gender roles. It's going to be a dark future. We have a lot of work to do as Muslims. The universities, the liberal ones, are really against us, and social media is grooming people through algorithms that are controlled and silencing opposition. So Mohammed Hijab having this discussion with her and saying, they're equal, obviously, but they have different roles. And that's important in this age where young girls are being targeted and confused, and where young men are being purposely stunted through debt and other means so that they can't succeed. And now the liberal secular atheists are pushing drug use, which will cause even more destruction to the family, to gender roles. A man, if he's high all day, he can't provide. And if a woman is high all day, she can't be a mother. I had 2 drug addict parents, and I'm very familiar with this. Ayaan isn't worried about that, right? She's too worried about a niqab, right? Just goes to show you that some of these people who really hate Islam, they're just trying to tear down something that they just had a bad memory with a couple people, But they don't know what America has turned into. Or maybe they like it. They embrace it. What do you think, fam? It's just really strange. So props to Mohammed Hijab for mentioning that equal in value, not identical gender roles, and that nuclear families in the West are under attack systematically. And we know liberals, leftists will deny this. Of course they will. But everyone who has an ounce of faith, iman, can perceive that indeed that is the case, and has been, and people like me who lived in it. And we see that it was the music industry, drugs, the liberal philosophy, the anti-religiosity that caused so many families to crumble, to crumble faster, So hopefully she can reflect and really decide to just leave Islam alone and focus on other things. But she gave very short answers, not really substance, just talking points. Mohammed Hijab used Arabic citations, elevated English. He had patience. He was the opposite of Ali Dawa, and it was quite effective and motivating and good to see.